My dear friends, welcome to PRIYANSHU Network with Priyanshu. Well, my dear friends, today I am here with a hectic topic, and it was really a need to share with you this hectic topic. I would not like to say hectic, but now it has become a hectic topic. That are good purpose of education for a student. Well, you maybe get shocked after knowing about the education purpose of America. I know it's not a time to compare our country to the America, because it has developed a lot, but somewhere it needs to be done, because many of the students who are interested in the education, in a productive and a creative education, they prefer to go abroad and study. Why this happens? Because India does not provide a good quality of education, or a productive education, or a creative education. This is the main topic of our country, which is mostly and mainly covered by our politicians, by our leaders, by the news anchors, many more people in our society as well, or maybe your elder ones, right? But what about they have a thought for the generation? Maybe not. They might not have any thought for their new generations. No, there is no any chance to do that, because in India, if you ask any student, why are you going to school and studying, they would say, I'm going to school for getting a higher education and get more paid salaries. Is this a perfect answer if you are taking an education? No, it should not be there. As I'm comparing my country to the United States, that America provides to their middle school a good, productive, creative and a moral education. They do, and they might be doing, or I'm not sure about it, but I'm sure about my country, that this country is not providing or not supporting the next generations to have a good quality of education. If you might be roaming on the roads of India, then you might have seen some unsheltered students. We cannot say students to them, because they are all just out-minded from our society, from our good purpose of society. We have a good purpose of society that we should live in it and create something special, create something productive, create something creative. No, there is nothing like that. Why? Because this is India. Because the politicians of India just used to say, they know how to take out something from their mouth, but they don't know how to take an action, right? The politicians they know how to take out the good purpose of education. They just know how to pass a bill on education, new education policy. As you might have heard, the new education policy 2020, right? That education policy contained a very minor thing. And what was that? That for education, India is now giving 6% of its budget, and that India is now providing the education till 18 years of the age. But what about to send them to school? If they are spending money to provide a good and a productive and a creative education for every learner, then why they are not sending them to school? Why, if I ask any kind of parent who are unsheltered, who live on the footpath, if I ask them that why don't you send your child to the school, a normal answer comes to me that really there is no need to send them to school. I just want to make them work and make some money. It's not a valuable answer for a parent, but it's very common in India. Why? Is really the government not responsible for it? The government is mostly responsible for this kind of incident. If they are, it means this all things takes a part to be corrupted, a corrupted government. I'm not blaming any kind of government or any kind of politician or leaders. No, I'm blaming the system which is made by the politicians, by the government. I don't know which government is that, who is just polluting the mind to taking to the position of education into their mind to perform a good and a productive. Why this happens, I don't know. Now let's talk about transportation. Well, my dear friends, education relates with the transportation. How? Now, I myself have experienced a lot in terms of transportation. I faced many kind of transportation problems in my daily life, from coming home to school, going home to school, these kind of processes. Why it happens? Why the government does not provide a transportation, a good transportation for those kind of children? And then the cases come to us that the students does not cooperate with us. They used to do some violent things with the bus drivers, with the buses, with the vehicles. Why they do? This should not happen. They just do because you are not providing a good kind or a good quality for the students. If they're going to school, just provide them, and then blame the student if they are not just taking it. Just you have to force, but the government is just set on his hand. That's why they are not doing anything else. And it is very rare to say that India is a cash cow in the terms of education. It is spending the 6%. It means a lot. A huge quantity of money that is being spent on education system, but not on making the student a productive and a creative. Why it happens? You might have heard the name Bihar. Bihar, a famous country known for the least literate person holding state. Why it is said? Maybe the government is corrupted? We can say this. The point, if I would like to talk about education in terms of my state Bihar, then I would say the government is corrupted. You know why? Because whenever I visited my hometown Bihar, there I noticed the government is fully corrupted in terms of education. They all are just reared that I'm going to school and then I have to pass my 12th and sit at home or just get married or just work for money. No more than that, they just run back of the government jobs, but they're unable to, and then they get depressed, and this way a family get a very bad reputed image in the public, in the society. Why this happens? Because of the corruption of the government in terms of education policies, right? If they would provide a good quality and a productive education in the state Bihar, then Bihar would be a more productive and a productor of IS officer and the IPS officers. Really, it is said that Bihar is an IS officer producer state of India. It is said because some of the students depends on them, and they just likes to perform well, to do something great for the country. But what about those kind of students who are still unable to take a high quality of education? Still they are unable to take education, or because of not getting kind of books or something like that, which I have experienced. According to me, I just say, if you think like this, comment me in the comment box. It is already open for you. And now let's talk about something creative thing. A quote I just read a day ago, that the roots of education is bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Why education's root is bitter? Why it is said? Now this is an image of education in terms of society, in the terms of every student. India is a creative kind of developing country, but never spends money on the human resources. It is said that Japan is a developed country because, according to me, because Japan spends their money on the human resources, not the brainstormed resources. Likewise, the Indian students, they just like to make a video on TikTok and those kind of platforms, video sharing platforms. Why do they do like this? Have you ever seen any Japanese guy or girl doing all these things, useless things? They might be doing from their kind of a scheduled time from their busy life. But what about the educations of India, and what about the facility that is provided by the parents also to their students or to their child? Now I was talking about the roots of education is bitter. This bitter word beated me a lot from my inside. Why? It just did like something vibrated inside me. That why this happens because this bitter, the education is compared the hardest thing for doing in a life of a student. But according to me, education is not a hard thing, just a need to take something, just a need to learn a productive skill, a creative skill from the schools. But although if we try to take the education in a productive, in a creative and a moral way, then for surely we can change the society, we can change our mind, which will surely change the society. Well, thank you so much. I hope you might have liked the video, and I would like to request that as you can share the video, just share it, because this topic is rare and need to know for everyone, right? Just share it, give a like. Don't forget to comment in your thoughts and efforts what you think about these all topics that is covered in the video, and do subscribe to the channel. Signing out, Priyanshu.